Assalamu alaikum and hello everybody. My name is Hasan. I'm a model and an author, and I've been modeling for about 3 years now, since my junior year at college, and haven't looked back since then. Love my job and really happy to be here today. To me, modeling is like a high-performance sport, so it's not just that you have to show up for work. It's like you have to be punctual, you have to be on your A game all the time, you have to be flexible, you have to keep an open mind. And I think it's also important that you should kind of understand the vision, because it's such a collaborative experience. You're working with the designer, you're working with a team, so it has to be kind of like you understand the vision that you're trying to portray. So it's not just that you are standing there in your clothes, you have to kind of embody them. It's like being an actor in a way. You have to play a different role every time that you show up for a shoot. Since I was a child, I was drawn towards the world of fashion. I used to read Vogue magazine and just look at these models looking amazing, and all of these street style gurus on Instagram. I think I gained a lot of inspiration from all of these people who were doing something in fashion, and how beautiful life becomes when you're aesthetically inclined and when you're wearing things that make you feel good. To me, fashion is a double-edged sword. So it's how you see the world, but it's also how you want the world to see you. And it's definitely a choice. It could be about what's trendy right now, but it's also about how you carry yourself and how you express yourself. I think there's many other things that come under the ambit of fashion. It's not just what's on the runway and what's trendy. It's also about how you make that your own, how you appropriate that and make it your own, and how you express yourself. And it's your attitude, your style, how fierce you are, how confident you are. All of that comes under the ambit of fashion, I think. I think our industry is definitely blossoming. Pakistan की जो industry है वो काफ़ी हद तक बढ़ गई है. There's new careers now for people. So there was not really any concept of art direction, styling, set design, all of that. There's actual agencies now who are starting to take the forefront and do all of these things. And I think that's really cool that you're creating careers for creative people. And there's also a lot of young people now who are doing experimental, cool things, and they're constantly changing the game. So it's like a complete break from how the industry used to work traditionally. Ab fashion marketing में भी काफ़ी ज़्यादा changes आ गई हैं. और मैं देख रही हूँ कि हमारा जो standard है वो बढ़ता जा रहा है as the days progress. We are, I think, as an industry, we can compete with international brands as well, because we're just doing so well with what we're putting out creatively. I didn't choose this profession, it chose me. I didn't choose to be a model. I feel like I just kind of found myself doing this. I actually used to be a child star growing up, and I retired around the age of 12 to focus on my studies. So I kind of was groomed, or it's like I was kind of born into it in a way, and I think my path kind of organically came back towards this industry. I think I'm supposed to be doing this in a way. I think I was destined to do this. I've had a great time working in Pakistan. Honestly, I've met so many interesting people. I've worked with some of my dream designers, Kamya Ropni, Faryal Aftab of Muse, Ali Zishan as well. I've always wanted to work for him, and I recently did a shoot for him. So it was really exciting. Like, all of these people are visionaries and they're geniuses in their own right. And it's just an honor to honestly be a part of their vision and their creative process. It's just heartening to even see. It's inspiring to even just see them at work. So, you know, when you get to work with people like that, you feel like you're really part of something great. And I think that's kind of what I've been carrying with me in these past 3 years. It's that I feel like I'm part of something that's larger than myself. Well, I would say that modeling is like a high performance sport. You have to be super, like, obviously physically fit as well, but there are certain, you should know your angles first of all. You should know how to serve face. And when I say serve face, that means any pretty person can stand in front of a camera and look good. You just have to be photogenic, but there has to be a certain way where you embody a vision, and that comes with like practice and being a good actor, I think, and confidence and having the right attitude and just keeping an open mind, I think. Sometimes being fierce can sometimes scare other people as well, because you have to have this like look in your eye. But I really enjoy it, and I think there is no one set technique. I think different things work for different models. But what I can tell you is that the biggest and most important thing is confidence. I definitely think that Pakistani fashion always had an international appeal, and now that some of our, both our fast fashion and slow fashion brands have started opening boutiques and stores all around the world, I think people are starting to notice. And I also think that our talent is also being recognized abroad as well. There's big names, big celebrities who are obviously have fan bases all over the world. But even I think with Instagram and social media, we have more of an international reach now. So even me personally in the past, I haven't even been working for that long, like 3 years is hardly anything in the span of a lifetime. But I've actually made friends with other models. I have a friend in Germany who's a model and works for an agency. I have a friend I think in Dubai. She travels around a lot. So and then there's some models from India who I'm in touch with. So we definitely, I think, are well connected now because of social media. So I think that's really helped like bring Pakistani talent and the creative industry and the fashion industry into a more international market for sure. Oh my God, my favorite models are obviously women from our own country who changed the game and really put our industry on the forefront, like Iman Ali, Vaniza, Sybil, all of these legends in their own right. Neha, Mehreen Syed, they've been consistently putting out such amazing work for the past so many years. It's been 20 years now. I think all of these women have literally changed our industry. And I grew up looking at them in magazines. Libas and Sunday magazine used to feature them, and I always used to love just like poring over their pictures. And I used to cut their pictures out and actually like stare at them because I thought they were so inspirational and so beautiful. So yeah, they are definitely inspirations for me. heartening that there's new young people who are taking the forefront in the industry, because I'm a part of that generation myself, and my colleagues who are around me in my age group, we're doing new things, we're experimenting, we're commodifying fashion, appropriating fashion in a way that hasn't been done before, and it's fun, it's exciting, and I'm all for it. And you guys need to stay tuned and see what we'll come up with, because we're breaking and bending many rules. We're not हमने एक नया निज़ाम शुरू किया है, let's just say that. And it's super exciting. Well, obviously, I really appreciate Pakistani designers. They're probably the biggest reason that I was attracted to this industry in the first place. And it's always fun being a part of their vision, and it's always an honor working for designers as well. I have utmost respect for them. And I think they are kind of what brings this industry forward. और मुझे लग रहा है कि even the older legends and the older kind of people who kind of started off this industry, they're also adapting new ways and really reworking their old designs and catering to this modern kind of market, and it's very, very exciting to see. I think that we're really growing alongside one another. New designers, old designers alike, we're all, I think, moving towards the right direction. Yeah, it's made a huge difference. Of course, like it takes a village. आप जो end पे जो आपका audience है, वो एक image, अगर आप magazine खोल लें, आपको एक image नजर आए. You don't realize, I think, that it takes a village just to create that one stunning, beautiful final image. You have to have your stylist, you have to have your art director, you have to have your set designer, you have to have someone doing the mood board, you have to have someone who does your hair and makeup. Everyone in that team is integral to the process of creating that one beautiful image that you see in the end. So of course, it's very, very important. I think all of these people are, like I said, it takes a village. I don't think that my job would be possible without everybody else kind of being a part of my team either. I would say that there's obviously a source of inspiration, और उसी source से फिर एक concept फिर निकलता है, और I think वो फिर it catches on and becomes a trend. That's what I think. Usually I think the source of inspiration could be from nature. So a designer, for example, would base an entire collection on flowers or the colors of spring or something, It could also be a color. So I gave the example of how sage green and lavender were really big. There was this perhaps one person who realized that this is a beautiful color and they wanted to kind of turn that color into fashion. And there are designers who do entire collections based on just one particular shade of purple, and somehow that becomes a trend, and purple becomes a trendy color for that year. I don't think a trend would catch on and become universal unless it was based off of someone's specific experience of that source of inspiration. And in fact, the more specific you get, the more universal its resonance becomes, because it's so human to feel and emote and respond to something as beautiful as a pretty flower or a color of nature, and then when it does become a concept in your mind and you're able to convey that to the world, I think that's usually how trends catch on. So 2021 is over now, so let's talk about what's coming in 2022. I think now that the pandemic fashion trends are kind of simmering down, people then were more concerned with functionality and what's comfortable, but now I think people are more drawn to colors and brighter color palettes, I think, for sure. And I was also actually discussing this with a designer yesterday, and she was telling me that people are looking for traditional cuts and traditional embroidery more so now than ever. So I think we can expect to see more Mughal-inspired fashion on the runway very, very soon. Honestly, nowadays it's all about social media. I think brands have really adapted their entire visions in order to fit what's on the social media market right now. I know that a lot of brands are actually making TikToks now in order to stay relevant. Instagram, I think, is the biggest marketplace for fashion right now. And I was actually talking to a friend about this the other day, where I realized that in Pakistan especially, pehle jo hai na, the only place that you really had to dress up or show your style off was at weddings. Because those were kind of like these big social gatherings. But now that we have social media, I think every day you can style yourself and put a picture up on Instagram and dress up and have a reason to express yourself through fashion. So I definitely think that it's given us a big boost in the industry. Even because we don't really have a pedestrian culture in Pakistan, so street style isn't really a huge concept. But now, because of Instagram, you can still wear your nice hoodie and your nice athleisure pants and still look really, really cool and hip and with it, and just post a picture on Instagram, I think for young professionals who are looking to get into modeling, I think one very important thing is to always know your worth, know your value. Don't let anyone else dictate your worth, and don't let any disappointments or setbacks hold you back or discourage you. You should always have a positive mindset, because you'll never know where the right opportunity is just around the corner. So you should keep persevering. And I think before meeting any potential clients, or you never really know when someone could potentially scout you, so always be well put together. I think one really important thing is to have your nails always done, because designers should be able to envision how you would look as a part of their aesthetic. So even if you're not always dolled up and glammed up, as long as you're looking good and feeling good and being confident, you'll get the job. Don't worry about it. And also I would also say that having a good social media presence is really important in this day and age if you want to find work in modeling, because everything is on Instagram right now, everything is on YouTube, on Facebook, on I think because the marketplace has become so saturated now with influencers as well, it's important that you set yourself apart as someone who can do high fashion as well. So know your angles, know your poses, and just stay confident. I think Discover Pakistan is a fantastic idea, and I think that Pakistan definitely needed a softer image in mainstream media. और हमारी इतनी खूबसूरत जगहें जो आपको देखनी चाहिए, especially Hunza and Gilgit-Baltistan is I've been there. It's like heaven on earth, and I definitely think that people need to promote that, so that other people can see how beautiful our country is and how lovely the people are and how rich our culture is. And I think that Discover Pakistan is doing a fantastic job in promoting that image. This is Meher Hasan. Thank you so much for having me on Fashion Diary. Stay tuned and keep watching Discover Pakistan.